Hey, travelers. Just stopping by to let you know that this episode that you are about to listen to is one of our older ones, and we were going through some growing pains at this time. But if you would like to start from where we consider our newest era of quality, I would go ahead and jump to episode 54, The American Bigfoot. Either way, enjoy, travelers.
Welcome back to the Infinite Rabbit Hole, where we are so far down, we're having adventures in Wonderland. Today, we are doing part 2, the meanings behind music, Electric Boogaloo. Last week, if you guys remember, we covered Rage Against the Machine and Flowbots, and we kind of broke that down, and we got to explore the concept of the double entendre in music that allows you to interpret things in multiple ways while saying one thing at a time. And then we also got to dive into the concept of applying video to music to really help convey the message. And at the end of the day, we really hope you took something away from that. At the end of that episode, we also asked you a question, and we're hoping at the end of this episode to kind of discuss that a little bit and provoke some thoughts, and not necessarily bad thoughts. We don't want you to rise up against your government. I mean, unless you really want to, that's up to you. Don't tell them we said to do it, because we didn't.
Facts.
Yeah, right. That is not our idea. Do not do anything that's going to land us in jail, please. In fact, if you're at the end of the day, you're going to go, Infinite Rabbit Hole told me to, just don't do it.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't care. I don't care if that's buying a lollipop. Why are you at the store buying a lollipop? Infinite Rabbit? No. Go home. Don't buy the lollipop. What we are trying to say is that we're hoping to inspire some critical thinking, and for you to really take a look at, I don't know where you're listening to this episode, but here in the United States, we have a political system that's relying on two parties heavily when there are multiple parties out there for things to be looking at. And this really is a way for you to kind of explore the idea of not an us versus them, but it's us as a united front. And in a way for you guys to really come to some critical conclusions about the world that surrounds you and people as a whole, and what happens when you give people power that you shouldn't give people power to. That was very poorly put. What happens when you give people power who shouldn't have it in the first place? And that's really what a lot of these musicians are out here trying to talk to us about. We explored Jeremy and Andrew. This week, it's going to be Jake and I covering individual songs. We're going to be getting into some other ways of listening to music and really hearing the message. And we're really hoping that you guys enjoy this for what it is and take away from it what you can. But before we get into that, we really need to get down and scratch the surface.
Absolutely. So if you guys would like to follow us on any of our social medias, you can follow us at facebook.com/Infinite Rabbit Hole. If you want to follow us on Instagram and Twitter, our handles are Infinite RH Pod. And if you guys have anything that you would like us to talk about, please message us on any of those platforms. Or you can email us at infiniterabbithole@gmail.com. And why would you want to email us? Well, you can just let us know how we're doing. You want to set up and come on to our show and, tell us about a spooky story that you have or just content. I mean, one thing that I don't think that the listeners of Infinite Rabbit Hole really understand is that if you want to come on and just guest as a normal person, right, and you just want to talk about a topic, come on. I mean, we love talking about this kind of stuff. So just reach out to us. I mean, we don't know who all of you are, so we can't reach you. So you're going to have to reach us. Let us know. And if you have a story to tell, we want to make sure it gets told either by you or by us. And that's all I have. Andrew will take it from here and tell you about our Patreon.
Thank you, Jeremy, for that kind introduction. So since the launch of this podcast in September of 2020, Infinite Rabbit Hole has been trying to attract listeners with a weekly show of curiosities, right? Whether it is this episode of being sounds, aliens, cryptids, Bigfoot, to Bigfoot or not to Bigfoot, Project Bluebeam with conspiracy theories, or Simpsons time travel, plus many more, right? We want to keep this show up and running and make the best show we can, but we do need your help. Supporting us through the Patreon greatly allows us to grow and bring you more content as we continue to grow. Things like stuff we want to do in the future, merch, t-shirts, something like that. That will only be possible if you do go ahead and support us through the Patreon, right? And supporting through the Patreon, you do get bonus things as well. We do have different tiers, so you do get additional content like the bottom of the hole. So definitely check out the Patreon at Infinite Rabbit Hole for it and see what entices you and help us support the show.
Sound like you were struggling to read your own handwriting.
I was actually choking on nuts.
I bet you were.
I had eaten peanuts before I ran back upstairs.
Sure.
Peanuts. It's bulky, but I consider it carry on. Oh, peanuts. Oh, I see. Hey, everybody. Jake here. So just like last episode where we played our very first Nastygram voicemail, you can leave us a voicemail at anchor.fm/infinite rabbit hole. We'd love to hear what you think about the show, if you have any suggestions. And what's more is that continuing forward, if you leave us a voicemail, we will play it on our next available episode. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to read comments on YouTube. So please hit us up there. We post our show on YouTube as well with a little graphic thing. It's really interesting. Where you can hear us pretty much on any platform nowadays. So wherever you can find us, leave us a message, leave us a voicemail, leave us something, some sort of a comment, and we will respond or we'll take into account. We'll listen to what you guys have to say. We really, really like that positive feedback. And even if it's negative feedback, we'll play it on the thing anyway. So thanks for listening to us, and let's get into the show.
And ratings and reviews.
And ratings and reviews.
Yeah. Did we say that yet?
Yeah, I think you did, right?
Yeah, just
Okay.
now.
And ratings and reviews
Yeah.
on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, and what's that on? Podchaser.
And
Yes. We need to grow. Help us grow.
Is CJ still allowed to hand out free insults to people who leave us nastygrams?
I don't care, man. Whatever. I mean, the thing is that we have CJ as a host, so we need to accommodate CJ.
Which means if you're mean to us, I'm going to be mean to you for free. You don't have to subscribe to Patreon for that. But if you want a bonus insult, you can subscribe to Patreon. I'll give
We
you a
should ask
second
people
one.
to like roast us on our infinite or our anchor.fm/infinite rabbit hole. Leave a
Ooh, we
voicemail on there
should.
and roast us. Tell us what we're doing wrong and be real mean about it.
Go ahead, because CJ loves talking shit.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do it. Seriously. Anybody listening to this, go to anchor.fm/infinite rabbit hole, click on leave a message or whatever it is, and give us a voicemail. Tell us how terrible we're doing, and specifically say something mean to CJ.
Yo, come for my whole life. Go ahead.
Tell him he has a face for radio. It's a good thing he does this because he couldn't do anything else.
I will tell you this, guys, right now. I was the escalations analyst for a large ISP for about 4 years. You've got a task ahead of yourself if you want to make me cry.
I don't know what that means.
It means people called me on the phone and screamed absurdities at me all the time.
Nice. What a life to live.
Why do you think I don't do it anymore?
And if for some reason you guys want to leave us a positive comment on those messages too, feel free. We like those too. And CJ will not say bad things about you.
Jeremy and I are active duty military. Do your worst.
If you're nice to us, I will say something to boost your self-esteem.
Yeah.
If you
Whether it's
subscribe
nice-
to Patreon, you're not catching that one for free.
Whether if it's
Like,
nice or mean, CJ is going to rip into you.
you guys smell like flowers. Fuck you, dude. I won't do
All
that.
right.
I'll give him a hug. Virtual hugs.
All right. Anyway,
real quick before we get into the episode, I just want to reiterate the little
Disclaimer. Yeah.
disclaimer from the first episode is that Infinite Rabbit Hole is politically neutral. We do not take sides on the air. Just like every human being, we have our own beliefs and everything, but we keep that out of the Infinite Rabbit Hole. Some of these songs, as you heard from the last episode, can be politically based, but we are strictly listening and reporting on a neutral platform, and we are just bringing you observations. That is it. So please do not take any comments or any songs that we have chosen as a political stance, because that is false. That's it.
Right. And just to add to that, we also don't encourage any sort of actions from any of our listeners. And yeah,
that's it. Enjoy.
Like we said last week, we covered Handlebars by the Flowbots and
Sleep in the Fire.
Sleep in the Fire by Rage Against the Machine. In-depth, complicated music, employment of the video aspect, like we mentioned before, absolutely insane. This week, we are going to be covering sort of along the same genre of music, in a way. Honestly, the genre of punk rock and even hard rock to a point is low-hanging fruit for this kind of thing. But don't think that doesn't extend out to other places. You know, we had things like Run DMC talking about stuff like this back in the day too. So genres like rap and everything cover this as well. I'm actually going to go and deep dive into the song that I chose because Jake elected to go last today. Yep. See, because he's going to be that coup de grace. But
I don't speak Spanish.
Oh shit! I didn't have my soundboard ready for that one. So actually, yeah. Oh shit! Like, so today I'm actually going to be covering a song by a band that, when they were popular when I was a kid, I hated them. Not because I knew what their music was, but because everybody else liked it and I couldn't be that guy. Because, oh man, yeah, I was an edgelord, right? Not like the incels we associate edgelords with today, but I was one of those kids where, like, if I knew 10 people were doing it, I wasn't having it. You know?
You set up a summer cottage on the edge, and then you decided to live there 8 months out of the year.
Yeah, something like that. I was one of those guys. The result was I know what the insides of my high school toilets taste like. So
gross.
Yeah, it was pretty gross.
Or good.
No, it was bad. I wasn't in there voluntarily. You know, football players are bigger than I am. So
it's just like, you know.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
toilet tasting.
Ooh, yeah. You know, back in high school, I was 325 pounds at one point, and we had these really skinny lockers, and I mean skinny. They were 8.5 inches wide, like when you opened them. Basically, you could put your coat in there, and that was about it. And they really tried to put me in one of those once.
How big were these football players? Jeez.
Well, they didn't succeed. And it was kind of like, I was not happy about the situation at the time. But looking back on it, it was a moment of comic genius on my part, because the entire time they're trying to pack me into this locker, I was screaming, "Master volume, master volume," because I didn't know what else to say. And eventually they left me alone, but I was pretty bruised up from it.
I don't know what that means.
Master volume. So you can only pack
mass the volume. Got it. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, you can only pack so much mass inside the volume of an object, and my mass was way too big for that volume. Like, but anyway,
you say it's true.
Yeah, because I'm also a huge nerd and I say stuff like that. But anyway, the band that I'm talking about, I actually started listening to more regularly, maybe about 1.5 2 years ago, and that band is My Chemical Romance. And there were a whole slew of our listeners that just cringed, but hear me out. I realized that they were that very poppy emo phase,
including one of your hosts. Yeah, I was just like, ugh.
Yeah, right. But I mean, nowadays, like going back and listening to some of their music, their instrumentals are actually pretty impressive. And like I said in the first episode, you know, we listen to music, but oftentimes we don't actually hear it. And this song that I'm about to cover was actually my inspiration for suggesting this episode topic. And the song is Teenagers that they've done. And overall, the song is a commentary on how the general political system, our government, and even a lot of adults view teenagers. And now that we're older, we it wasn't that long ago that we were teenagers, but now that we're older, you know, I imagine there's a lot of shit that we did where we look back and we're like, well, we were fucking dumb, right? You know, like, why the hell would we do that? You know, and then like you look at teenagers now, you know, like you're sitting on your porch and you see some teenagers coming down your street, and sometimes your first thought is, what kind of no good are you up to, right? And that's just a stigma teenagers have. It's tough to get past that sort of thing. And this song really kind of gets into that and really encourages the idea that, you know, that kids should be allowed to be kids, but we really are trying to make an effort to control them and manipulate their minds, right? So a young mind is a moldable mind, and we're really working on the manipulation factor in here. And the first verse of that song really gets into it, where they say they're going to clean up your looks with all the lies in the books to make a citizen out of you, because they sleep with a gun and keep an eye on you, son, so they can watch all the things that you do. And that's not a joke. Today, in today's line of things, when this song came out, I don't really remember smartphones were a thing, but we carry around tracking devices on us every single day. They can turn those cameras on and look at you whenever they want. If you go online and look up pictures of Mark Zuckerberg, there's pictures of him with tape over the webcam on his computer, right? And this is a really prominent thing that's going on with our society. They monitor us constantly. Big Brother was a big thing. Even back in the 70s, they were worried about the government listening to your phone calls. Were they doing that back then? Yeah, absolutely they were. Were they doing it on the scale they're doing it now? No, they didn't have the capabilities. Now all you have to do to give the government permission to listen to your phone calls is buy a phone, right? As soon as that bad boy connects to the internet, and we'll link this to a second song, and it's a song by Dual Core called Hackers. And in that song, it's a rap song, and they say, connect it to the internet and someone's gonna own it, right? And nowadays, we don't even know how to live without the internet. If the internet went down on us now, our lives would be in chaos, right? But this verse really kind of starts touching on that thing. Like, they watch you, and they are going to make a citizen out of you, meaning they're going to mold you the way they want. At least that's the goal, right? We move into the next verse, and I'm not going to do the entire thing here because it's not really necessary, but it starts off with, because the drugs never work. Then they go on to say they can keep you clean and that they'll tear your aspirations to shreds. Basically, what that's saying here is that they are well aware that the drugs they give you do not work, right? And that's not to say, like, if you're going through a mental illness or you're having something like that, and you have a medication that helps you get through that's not what this means. Because those for a lot of people, those medications are necessary. What I'm talking about is things like the opioid crisis, right? We have these issues where doctors are prescribing painkillers for people and overprescribing them and then getting them hooked. And then, you know, they stop prescribing them. And then these people end up looking for things like heroin. It's a huge issue, and it's prevalent today, but this is not a new concept. This is something that started when we were teenagers, maybe even before that. But I remember the real thing, like when you went into the DARE program in high school, when they started talking about drugs, they really started talking about painkiller pills and why you should avoid them, things like that. And, you know, then they go into a chorus, and the chorus is very significant. When they move into this chorus, there's an aspect of music that we're going to talk about here, inflection and intonation. They intentionally say the very first two words very quietly so that you'll miss them if you're not really listening for it. Because the idea is they're masking this stuff in this song to make it sound like it's their opinion, and then that they're not speaking on behalf of these other people. But the first two words of the chorus is "they said," and when you listen to this song, they say it very fast and very quietly as compared to the rest of the chorus. And it's, they said, all teenagers scare the living shit out of me. Right? They could care less as long as someone will bleed. So darken your clothes or strike a violent pose. Maybe they'll leave you alone, but not me. And that it's significant. Like I said, they intentionally say "they said" very quietly so that maybe you'll miss it if you're just listening in your car while you're driving or something. And they're saying that these kids who darken your clothes, they strike the violent pose, maybe they'll leave you alone, but not me, is a misleading line. They said it in a way to make it sound like, you know, maybe the authorities will leave you alone, but I'm not going to ignore you. They're not. The hidden message here is maybe your classmates who you're trying to intimidate will leave you alone, but they're speaking on behalf of the government when they say, but not me. I'm still watching you. I'm still here. I'm still going to mold that ideal citizen out of you by the time you're grown. Right. And I mean, the song really goes on, and kind of how Jake brought up the song Pumped Up Kicks, right? Is that what the song's called, right?
Yeah.
So they get into another lyric in another verse. They say, shoot, I lost my place here. Okay, so in another verse they say, but if you're troubled and hurt, what you got under your shirt will make them pay for the things that they did. Right? And that entire verse is about bullying and kids who are lashing out against that kind of thing. They're making a direct commentary on the concept of school shootings and things like that. And then they go into the next chorus. It's the same chorus, but it's very deliberate. So what they're saying is within this verse that because these kids are causing these school shootings and everything because of the bullying and one of the lines is the awful names that they stick. So these things that are happening to these kids that are causing them to do the school shootings, like the government's going to take care of that. Teenagers are scary, so we're going to fix that. We're going to make them into citizens. They'll leave you alone, but I won't. I'm always here. Like, and it's really crazy, like the message they're trying to convey within this song, that no matter what you do, no matter how much you try to rage against the machine or
He said it.
Yeah. No matter how much you try to do these things or try to stand out or try to be different or try to make change, that they are still there. Their goal is still to make that ideal citizen out of you, and they're confident that they're able to do that. And, you know, listeners that are listening to the show right now, and myself included, and Jake and Jeremy, I mean, you guys are in the military, and Andrew, what did we grow up to do? We became responsible citizens. We're not out there starting a revolution or anything like that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, we think about that, and it's like we became that citizen image in a way. Our minds don't necessarily work the way they want them to. Like, we still see the bull crap they're doing, but at the end of the day, are any of us really going to go out there and try to stop them? Probably not. Maybe Andrew, but probably not.
I got bills.
Right. Like, I got a kid. And you know what? If you really think about it, at the end of the day, a lot of us have that same line of thinking where, you know, yeah, it sucks, but it's better than jail.
Yeah.
And they know that. Like, they know we have that line of thinking. Like, we can make you miserable, but there is always that we can make you way more miserable than you already are, which is why you're going to act the way we want you to act. And most of us are like, that's fair. We got it. Again, not saying that anybody should really go out. If you are going to go out and try to make changes, politically campaign, like run for office yourself, do something.
Right. Vote them out of office. Do it the right way.
Right. Get out there and do what you got to do. Try to make change, try to make it petition things. I know it all sounds useless, but if enough people are doing it, it might actually make some change. And the song finishes with 2 repetitions of that chorus. What they do say, another significant line before they begin the second to final chorus, they say "all together now," and that makes it sound like it's a rallying cry, but no, it's like you're becoming symbiotic with the system at that point. You've become one of them. They no longer say at that, like they don't repeat the "they said." That line is gone. They don't say it again. It's all together now. Teenagers scare the living shit out of me. You've become the adult. You've become that ideal citizen. They won. They successfully molded you. And in a way, they're not wrong. We, on some level, have become that ideal model of citizen where we get up and we go to work and we come home and we pay our bills and we feed our families and we play with our kids and we raise them so that they can repeat the process later. And that's what the entire song is coming down to, is they are afraid of the young generation, so they have to force them into becoming the ideal adult so that they can continue the process. And at the end of the song, they win, and they successfully pull it off.
Gross.
I'm a cranky old man.
Oh, yeah. Dude. But anyway, I have an empty lot next to my house, and I live near a middle school, and a lot like the high schoolers don't give me any kind of problems, right? But these middle schoolers are little badasses. And anytime they wanted to, have the little after school scuffle, they didn't meet at the flagpole. They met in the lot next to my house. And then one of them broke one of my windows. Like, he put a hole in the window and then he busted up the siding on my house, like throwing rocks or something at another kid. And I was the guy, I had a walking stick next to the front door for like hiking and treasure hunting. And I literally had that walking stick in my hand. I leaned off the porch and I was like, "You kids, get out of here." And like shook the stick. And
Get off my lawn!
Right. And they ran away. They were like, "Oh my God." And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm that old guy now."
Yep, that's you.
That was me. And I was like, "This isn't funny anymore."
All because My Chemical Romance told you.
No,
gonna happen.
because they busted my window. That's what did that for me.
Oh, yeah, okay, old man.
Oh man,
But you know what I mean.
it totally
Yeah,
happened to me the other
absolutely.
day. Yeah.
Do you guys have anything to add on to that the song?
Another song that I was going to do, right? And it wasn't politically charged at all. And I just don't think there was enough oomph behind it. And then, I found out that you were doing Teenagers by My Chemical Romance. I was going to do The Black Parade. That was another song because a lot of people don't understand that song is about death. It's about a kid laying in the hospital on his deathbed, about to die, and his father is trying to,
How uplifting.
yeah, that's another reason why I kind of skipped out on it too. But it's just like, it's so awesome. My Chem does this, right? They put these hidden meanings into songs, and if you don't like take the time to either listen or even if you listen to a song like The Black Parade, I mean, you can get hints and tips. Now that I know that it's about death, like joining the Black Parade is dying. But now that I know that, when I read the lyrics and stuff, the lyrics mean so much more.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where I don't necessarily have much to say about teenagers in general. You did a really good job about it. But basically what I want to say is like, hey, take a listen to your favorite songs, and then just do a quick Google search on what's the true meaning behind this song. Just pick a song. And there's a lot of songs out there with hidden meanings that you didn't know.
It's really crazy. Like when you look at a band like My Chemical Romance, and back in the day, we really were like, oh, cheesy, God. And then like you listen to the lyrics now, or like you read them, and you're like, they're fucking brilliant. Like,
Right.
this is some of the most advanced wordplay I've ever seen in my life, and
Right.
you're so subtle, and it's right there, and you can miss it so easily. It's amazing. And that's one of the reasons I actually like the band nowadays, is like I realize their actual genius like in their writing. It's like, whoa.
It does make you appreciate it more. I wasn't ever against My Chem. I was actually a pretty big MCR fan in my junior and senior year. That was like my music style right there.
Yeah, I definitely went to a buddy's house and he put the album on, and I was a SpongeBob meme that day. I was like, I'm gonna get out of here.
That's nuts.
All right. Anybody else have anything to add to CJ's deep dive into My Chemical Romance's teenagers?
No, I agree. I agree with what you said. I've become the old man too. Trust me, kids climbing in my little sapling outside. But
yeah, kids suck, bro. They spray painted a dick on my garage once too. Maybe I'll send that to you guys. You can upload it to the Infinite Rabbit Hole Instagram. But they spray painted a dick on my garage, and it's not even a good one either. It's really bad. The artist was terrible.
Well,
Would you give him a 4 out of 5?
No, more like a 1.5 out of 10. Like garbage.
Dang.
but you could still make it out that it was what it was supposed to be, so it couldn't have been that bad.
That's why they get a
Not
1.5
like, what is this
instead of a
snake
0.
doing on my garage?
Oh no, it's a chode. It's so bad.
That's definitely a dick. All right, Jake, take us away, man.
Hey, everybody. Bear with us while we take this quick break.
All right. Have you guys all listened to the song?
I have. I actually
Yeah.
listened to on repeat. So I've heard that song before, the one that you're
Okay.
about to do. But it was no way, shape, or form did I ever actually listen to the music. So I listened to it on repeat about 10 to 15 times today.
Jeez.
Jake
Okay.
sang it to me about half an hour ago.
Yeah.
I was here for a little bit of it.
Okay. So you guys went pretty deep into yours, but I'm going to go deeper. I'm going to get
Ooh.
lost in the infinite rabbit hole right now.
I
So,
love it.
so believe it or not, and this will be a shock to the viewers or the listeners, whatever, but I was not always a Christian guy. And as a matter of fact, before I was a Christian, I ran my life almost completely into the ground. Basically, I've been sober. I don't drink, and I've been sober for October. October will be about 4 years for me, or will be 4 years.
Damn, has it been 4 years already?
Yeah, dude, it's been a minute.
Jeez.
You know, congratulations, dude. I grew up in a home with a really nasty, mean alcoholic, and I appreciate when people walk away from that life.
Well, I didn't just step away. I had to almost kill myself, but you know, it took a while, but yeah, I appreciate that. So the song that I picked is called Pet by A Perfect Circle, and it's off of the album 13th Step. And if you know anything about alcohol or drug addiction, there's the 12 steps, right, of Alcoholics Anonymous, 12 steps of various recovery programs that are all based off of the 12 steps of AA. And the entire album is very it really plays into the different aspects of an addict's life, like the entirety of the album. It has a whole bunch of different songs that just all are like different key points of it. And Pet is very much so part of that idea. When I was getting sober is when I found this album, and I just attached myself to Pet, because when you first read into it, or you first listen to the song from the mindset of an addicted person, Pet sounds like the addiction is Maynard James Keenan singing to the addict. And I'm going to read out some of these verses and tell you about what they meant to me at that time. And it was, lay your head down, child, I won't let the boogeyman come. And that's like the withdrawals, right? Just keep using, keep doing this, keep drinking. I won't let the withdrawals come if you keep doing this. Pay no mind to the rabble, head down, go to sleep to the rhythm of the war drums. For me, at that time frame, that was reminiscent of the screaming insanity inside my own head. Just drink myself to oblivion and drown it all out. The issues, the problems, the everything that was going wrong in my life at the time, the relationships that I was running into the ground, as long as I stayed addicted, as long as I stayed involved in my alcoholic lifestyle, none of that mattered, because the only thing that mattered to me was the alcohol itself. And let's see, there's I'll be the one to protect you from your enemies and all your demons. I'll be the one to protect you from your will to survive and a voice of reason. This is just, the alcohol was talking to me. So when I had heard this song, and I must have listened to it hundreds of times, and it wasn't so much of a reminiscing on being an alcoholic or actively using and drinking, but it was more so of reminding me of how bad it was and how much I didn't want to go back to that. Because it's true, alcohol was my only friend. Alcohol was the one that I turned to when, times were good and times were bad, and I was happy or sad or, whatever the occasion was. It's a Tuesday, let's get hammered. And so it became my protector. It became the thing that made me feel safe. It became the thing that your God is supposed to be for you. Alcohol was my God for a very long time. And the song it's deep and disturbing, and it gets more aggressive as it goes, till at the back end of it is saying that the boogeymen are coming, keep your head down, go to sleep to the rhythm of the war drums. And it's just more and more possessive of the user as the song continues. It starts off very, I'm here for you, I'm your only friend, sort of. And then it gets more towards, you have no one else except for me, and I'm not going to let you go. And so at that phase in my life, it was just, I felt it. I felt that control over my life that my addiction had. But here I am 4 years later, where I'm not all wrapped up in everything anymore. I mean, I don't attend AA meetings. I'm sober. I just don't. Me and my wife, we don't drink, right? And she quit drinking the same time I did. And we just decided we're going to live in a household where we don't drink. We're not going to continue those behaviors into our relationship when we have kids, and, subjecting them to that. So now that I'm out of it, this song has an entirely different meaning to me. And, it wouldn't be it wouldn't be false to say that the brilliant, lyrical genius of Maynard James Keenan for Tool and for A Perfect Circle, and I never got into Pussifer. I never really, listened to any of their songs, but that it is not false to say that a lot of his songs have double and triple and quadruple meanings, and it can mean an entirely different thing to whomever the listener is, what they're going through. He really plays into the emotion. It's just amazing. The music portion of it, just the guitar, the drums, it's just incredible in itself, but his lyrical genius just flows through all of that stuff. And I want to break down these lyrics on this very seemingly, we're talking about drug addiction and we're talking about alcohol addiction sort of album that he's on, or that it's on. And let's think about this in a governmental sense. So we have, lay your head down, child, I won't let the boogeyman come. Think of it in the way of what the media does. The interesting thing about this album is it came out in 2003, right before we went full scale into our war on terror. And what was, whether you're one political side or the other, or you're in the middle, I believe that all of it has its own agenda. That whether you're Republican or Democrat, independent, whatever, it all has its own agenda. It's all, we're the righteous ones, we're the good ones, and they're not. So if you look at it from the perspective of this is the media or this is the government talking to the average citizen, I'll be the one to protect you from your enemies and the voice of reason, or your will to survive and your voice of reason. I'll be the one to protect you from your enemies and your choices, son. They're one and the same. I must isolate you and save you from yourself. Swing to the rhythm of the new world order, counting bodies like sheep to the rhythm of the war drums. The boogeymen are coming. The boogeymen are coming. Keep your head down, go to sleep to the rhythm of the war drums. It sounds like he's trying to convey to us, amongst all this stuff that you could take from this song and say this is about addiction and this is about whatever, this, that, and the other. You could also play it in and say this is the media blinding people. Don't pay attention to that rabble. Don't pay attention to the war drums. Pay attention to me. Just go to sleep. Just close your eyes. We're going to be here to protect you from all this other stuff. Don't listen to any of that other stuff. Pay no mind to the rabble. When I hear rabble, it reminds me of that South Park episode where all the townspeople were all against some speaker up on stage, and all you can hear is rabble, 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 rabble as they're speaking. And it's all the naysayers. Don't pay attention to that. Pay attention to what we're trying to feed you, what we're trying to convey to you. And if we're thinking about that in the time frame of post 9/11, right, cranking into the war on terror with all the conspiracies wrapped around there, it's pretty intense that for the most part, there were conspiracy theories, there were all these sorts of things, but there was a lot of people, most people, I would say, that were all for it. It was this group of people. It was a terrorist attack. We're going to go over there and we're going to, hand their butts to them. What's the real reason behind it? And then you had all the conspiracy theorists and all that stuff about 9/11 itself and about the war on terror. What are we really doing in the Middle East? And it makes sense. And I think it's like Handlebars, where I said it aged like a fine wine. I would say that this is more so the way that the government and media operates, whatever side of the political spectrum you're on, now more than ever. Because everyone is throwing blame. Everyone is saying, don't pay attention to them. We're the ones that are telling you the truth. Pay no mind to that rabble over there. We're going to be the ones that are going to protect you from that. Just close your eyes and go to sleep. Lay down and go to sleep to the rhythm of the war drums. It's intense. And if you listen to that song, I encourage you guys to listen to it and listen to it all the way through. And it's paired very nicely with Lullaby. This is track 11 on that album. Lullaby is track 12. And it kind of drifts into it where it's just Maynard James Keenan saying or whispering, go back to sleep. And then there's a hard bass line and then a little girl that's just kind of doing this little melody over the music. And it's really creepy and it's really dark and disturbing. And it pairs very nicely because like Tool, like A Perfect Circle, like I don't know, one of my co-hosts said, the songs are meant to be played one after the other. And it's a story, it's a progression. And this song, amongst all the other songs on that album that deal with addiction, that deal with the struggles of being attached to something like that or something having dominion over you, it could very well be the government having dominion over you and blocking your eyes and closing you out to what's really going on. What do you guys think?
I just want to point out one thing, right? Is that I heard the song before when I was younger, right? And, as soon as I just didn't know what it was called. But as soon as I started listening to it, because you said that you were doing this song, it immediately clicked in my head and I even was able to sing along a little bit. That's how much I actually have heard it before. But I find it so strange. Now I can see exactly what you're talking about when you're talking about the addictions and you're talking about the news and the current climate and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I heard something completely different. And I think it's so awesome and interesting that so many people can listen to the same song and hear completely different stuff. I heard, because, I'm not trying to get my feels or anything, but I suffer from depression and PTSD.
Yeah.
I heard in this song somebody being told it's okay, that's suffering from something similar that what I'm going through. And it's just, it's very, very cool how you can apply this particular song to many different things. And it really is in the eye of the beholder of what this song could actually mean. But like you had said, this song, it, specifically when you're talking about the political standpoint of it right now, it really did age really well. And I have a feeling that this one, as well as the other songs that we talked about, are all going to age very well as we get older, and as the songs get older, I think they're going to age even better.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I don't know. My favorite verse in this is, pay no mind to what other voices say. They don't care about you like I do. And then he whispers, like I do. Safe from pain and truth and choice and other poison devils. See, they don't give an F about you like I do. And then it says, stay with me. And it's just like, oh, alcoholism. Yep. The one political spectrum or the other. Yep. Depression and all that sort of stuff. It could certainly, I could see that it has a positive note to it and a darker note at the same time.
Actually, I have two things to add. So I pulled up the lyrics while you were talking, so I could kind of like follow along with you. And I gotta say, like when you were talking about, giving up your alcoholism and everything, I actually sat here and cried a little bit silently. I know you guys didn't hear that. Well, man, I'll admit it. I was crying a little bit because everything you were saying is everything I wish my father had done for me. And for those of you out there who are listening to this right now, being a father is the most important thing in my life. And making those decisions for your kids is that's the number one thing out there. And everything Jake's saying, like he's planning on having a family, so he's doing these steps to be that person, and that touches me on a level that it's really hard to explain. But the other part is, while I'm sitting here reading these lyrics, and I'm actually kind of surprised you didn't bring it up, Jake, given your background with Christianity, but these lyrics are very spooky, and it looks almost like the devil himself is talking to you.
Well, the devil's in the addiction, right?
Well, yeah, of course. It's just like the genius behind the writing. Like, if the devil was gonna write a song, it's almost like he wrote these lyrics. Like he's talking like, I can save you. I can go back to sleep, stay safe and ignorant with me. Like it's crazy. I did a lot of time as a Christian growing up myself, and like that persona that gets projected to you of what Satan, Lucifer, Beelzebub is really putting out there. Like it almost feels like if he was going to speak, that these would be the words that came out of his mouth. It's kind of horrifying.
Yeah,
it's a deep song. It's a really deep song. It was a good one to end with.
And I love how that you guys each had your own experience in it, because it basically points out the fact that art is basically the eyes of the beholder, right?
Right.
So each of you had your own experience that you could take to this song, and I feel like our anyone else out there listening to this song could have their own experience to put into this song, right? So it is something that something well crafted, such a good crafted song. In this, you can see yourself in that spot, right? You can see like things that you've gone through or experienced, or things that like other people have gone through and experienced, and it doesn't take away from your personal experience. It just adds to the song.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, does anybody else have anything to add here?
No.
All right, now that we're all in our feels.
Deep. I went
Thanks,
deep.
Jake. Dick.
I struck the bottom. Dong.
Oh
Hey,
man, yeah.
You know what? Speaking of the bottom, CJ, would you like to kind of give a little hint as to what we're going to be talking about for Patreon subscribers only?
I will as soon as we discuss the question that I promised we would discuss at the end of this episode.
That's true. Let's do that.
Why do you guys think that these artists who this is their living, this is how they're making their money, and they're in the public view, like why do you think they would be willing to pass these messages on? Because like if it's anybody who knows about this stuff, it's the people who are on the in crowd, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're in the in crowd. Why would they tell us about this? You know, why would they? There's got to be risk, you know, especially with certain politicians out there that have a knack for offing people, being out there like that. Like, why would they tell us that? Why do you guys think?
I think that when you talk about a musical artist, a lot of times you're talking about somebody who actually did make it from the bottom. A lot of the talent actually comes from somebody who went through a lot of stuff and had to put more into it than, let's say, somebody who was given a silver spoon, right? So, you know, maybe, and I'm not saying that all of the songs that we talked about, there were definitely some of the songs that we talked about that kind of seem like they're kind of like saying, hey, under the sheets, saying, hey, this is what's going on. Keep your heads up. This is what's going on. Look for it, right? But maybe this is them trying to kind of give back to the people who helped them get to the top, right? To the pinnacle of their careers. So a lot of these people started off as us, and through hard work and experience through life, they made it to where they are, and now they're saying, hey, we've heard some really stupid shit here's a little bit, you just have to decipher it because I can't say it straight out.
Yeah,
that's what I take from it, you know.
And they rely on their fans who they know are going to be able to decipher it.
Yeah.
Who know their personality, who know who they are, who know those underlying messages. They build that fan base and then start releasing these tidbits of information. I mean, I can't believe that, you know, we constantly see it in the news, celebrities getting trapped up in weird situations and stuff, or some of them that are just like breaking away from it, that they're like, yeah, I got invited to like a weird cultic ritual and I said no, you know, and, you know, very few people really pay attention to what celebrities say. They care about what they dress like and what cars they're driving and what their houses look like. We rely on singers by what they say, you know, music artists by what they write and how they perform and stuff. And so I think it's even more of a platform for speaking into the minds and the hearts of their fans. If they say something like, this is what the elite is really like, this is what the government's really like, this is what you don't see. You see the cameras and the microphones and all this stuff. This is what they're like on the outside or the inside, behind closed doors. You know, I've been able to see it because of my wealth, and now I'm giving it to you guys, so now you know.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, just kind of follow what you kind of said there about no one cares about what celebrities. Dave Chappelle said on one of his episodes, this is one of Andrew's favorite examples too. You know, let's see what Ja Rule thinks.
Yeah,
Because I'll fuck what Ja Rule thinks.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, yeah, definitely. I honestly, like when I look at this question, I honestly don't know, because when we look at things like, did Epstein really kill himself? What happened to those 3 presidents recently, of the countries that refused the vaccine? What happened to them? Did they really die of a heart attack? Like, you know, and we have these, you know, other people, like there's a conspiracy theory behind Tupac Shakur and the Notorious B.I.G. that, you know, that they were whacked, you know, so it's not unheard of for the government to assassinate these celebrity figures. And or at least not unheard of to theorize about it anyways.
Like Chris Cornell.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was trying to expose the pedophile rings and stuff, and somehow he overdoses after years of sobriety.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's crazy. That's kind of like why I wanted to put that question out there. And Andrew, like, do you have any thoughts on the situation?
Yeah. I mean, like, it's funny you mentioned, because I was going to say that too. The Dave Chappelle thing, basically, right around when 9/11 happened,
What
they
does
were
Ja
like,
Rule say?
yeah, 9/11 happened, and they're just like, what does Ja Rule say, or what does Ja Rule think about 9/11? And I'm just like, why the hell would I care what this person would, like, give me a government official, or give me like a 4-star general, or
Mhm.
someone like that's not a current rapper that now everyone forgot about. Like,
The other thing to think about too, in regards to that, is like, if we look at things like Instagram or TikTok or whatever, right? You know, when they have these pseudo celebrities on there, they're not calling them celebrities. They're not calling them famous people. They're calling them influencers.
Mhm.
mhm.
That's a very deliberate title, if you
Mhm.
ask me.
Very specific too. I mean, let's say, you know, they're there to influence, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
So then we have these celebrities and influencers that break the mold and try to tell us what's really going on. That feels like high risk, right? You know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. CJ, go ahead and give us a peek into the bottom of the rabbit hole, man.
Yeah, absolutely. For you Patreon subscribers out there that are about to tune in and listen into the bonus episode, The Bottom of the Hole, you know, in the first part of this episode, we explored metaphor and simile, and we explored the concept of combining video. And then in this episode, we explored intonation and tone and delivery. And then we ended with Jake's just triple and quadruple entendre and these brilliant lyrics that really should shake you. And we are going to discuss a work that combines all of those things into one. And it's a movie we probably all know and love. We're going to discuss Alice in Wonderland.
Boom. Taking it from audio to visual.
Boom.
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 All right. Well, you heard it here, guys. That's what we're going to be talking about at the bottom of the hole. So, again, you know the drill. If you are not a patron of the Infinite Rabbit Hole, this is where you get off. But if you want access to the bottom of the hole and hear us talk about the Alice in Wonderland movie, please go on to our patreon, patreon.com/infinite rabbit hole, and subscribe to any of our tiers. We have a $2, $5, and $10 tier. Any of those tiers will get you access to the bottom of the rabbit hole and all of our previous bottom of the rabbit hole episodes. It's a great way for you to kind of come with us as we extend the conversation into the topic that we're talking about, and for you to enjoy some bonus content for the money that you donated to us to help grow the podcast, to help grow the show that you love, to help us provide more and more and more and more. Every dime that goes into the Patreon will go towards the show. Nobody here is rich. We have put a lot of time.
I'd like to be.
I would like to be too. But we have put a lot of time, money, and effort into this podcast, and we would love it if we didn't have to keep dumping funds into it over and over and over again. Not saying that we won't, just be nice if we didn't have to. But until next time, this has been another episode of Infinite Rabbit Hole. We'll see you at the next one. Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on this episode of Infinite Rabbit Hole. If you'd like to reach out to us, you can do so at infiniterabbithole@gmail.com. Follow us at facebook.com/infinite rabbit hole. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/infiniterh. Follow us on Instagram at infinite_rabbit_hole. We're always looking for someone that has a story to share. So if you feel like you've experienced a strange encounter with something that you can't explain, reach out to us. Let us know. Come on, have a good time, tell your story. And if for some reason you don't want to show up on a podcast, send us a letter in our email in a format that we can read to the fans, and we'll be more than happy to read it to everybody. Well, that's all for this episode. We'll see you next time down the Infinite Rabbit Hole.